Okay, can we all rise for the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the January reorg meeting of the Philipstown Town Board, and I'd like to welcome our two new council people, Ned Roush and Matt Prentice. Welcome aboard. I look forward to working with you both. And my appreciation to our two outgoing, Megan Cotter and Jason Angel, who served the town very well, and I'm sure you guys will do just as well, along with Bobby and Judy and our trusted town clerk. So let's get right into the agenda for the reorg so we can wrap it up.
First is a resolution naming M&T Bank of Cold Spring as the designated bank in which all town officers shall deposit monies for the town of Philipstown.
Need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution authorizing the supervisor to deposit town funds in one or more NOW accounts, money market accounts, and/or certificates of deposit, providing that deposits allow monies to be available or come due in a timely manner to permit the town to meet its financial obligations.
Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution compensating for use of automobiles in the performance of official duties at the rate of 62 cents per mile.
Motion, please. Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution scheduling the town board monthly meeting to be held at 7:30 PM at the Town Hall, 238 Main Street, Cold Spring, New York, or 107 Glencliff Drive in Garrison, New York, on the first Thursday of each month, except when the same falls upon a legal holiday or due to extenuating circumstances, in which case the regular monthly meeting shall be held upon the following Thursday or such day as shall be determined by the town board at the regular meeting preceding such legal holiday.
Motion, please. Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution declaring that items for the regular town board agenda must be submitted no later than the Friday preceding the first Thursday of the month,
Or 20 minutes before.
or
the-
20 minutes before the meeting, like
Can I get a
usual.
mo- can I get a motion, please? Second.
Aye. Here.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution authorizing the town board to hold monthly meetings at various locations in the town.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution declaring that the town board may meet every Wednesday evening at 7:30 PM at the Town Hall, 238 Main Street, Cold Spring, New York, or 107 Glencliff Drive, Garrison, New York, to discuss and act upon such business as may come before the board.
Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor? I vote aye.
Next is a resolution designating the Putnam County News and Recorder as the town's paper of record, and simultaneously some legal notices and similar items of information will be sent to the Highland Current.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing O'Connor Davies LLC as the town auditors at an amount not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution naming Supervisor Van Tassel to act as budget officer for the town of Philipstown at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I abstain.
Next is a resolution appointing Susan Kenny as the assistant budget officer at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you, Sue.
Next is a resolution authorizing Supervisor Van Tassel to appoint Kevin McKeon as comptroller at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution authorizing Supervisor Van Tassel to appoint Maureen Etta as safety coordinator at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please. Second.
Second.
All in favor? I vote aye.
Next is a resolution setting petty cash funds for town clerk, tax collector not to exceed $450 at a time, superintendent of highways not to exceed $100 at a time, board of assessors not to exceed $65 at a time, recreation department not to exceed $450 at a time, code administration not to exceed $50 at a time, and justice not to exceed $200 at a time.
Motion, please. Second.
Second.
All in favor? and I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Supervisor Van Tassel as a voting delegate to the Annual Association of Towns meeting and naming Town Clerk Percocello as an alternate delegate in the event Supervisor Van Tassel is unable to attend.
Motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor? And I abstain.
Next is a resolution appointing Tara K. Percocello as Registrar of Vital Statistics for the Town of Philipstown and that her compensation is the fee allowed by law.
Motion, please. Second?
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Allison Shea as aide to the town board at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
So moved. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Greg Warner as Code Enforcement Officer and Fire Marshal at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please. Second?
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Linda Valentino as Clerk to the Code Administrator at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please. Second?
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Cheryl Rocket as Recording Secretary to the Planning, Zoning, and Conservation Boards at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please. Second? All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Susan DeStefano as Clerk to the Assessor at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please. Second? All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Thomas Merrigan as Deputy Highway Superintendent at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion. Second?
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Maureen Etta as Clerk supporting the Highway Department at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Terry Fleming as Clerk to the Highway Superintendent at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2020 budget.
Motion, please. Second?
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Annette Flaherty as Clerk to the Town Justices at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Bobby's abstaining.
Next is a resolution appointing Nancy Yaremko as Clerk to the Town Justices at a salary not to exceed the amount set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please. Second?
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Mark Farlow as Town Historian.
Second? All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Drake Loeb PLLC as counsel to the Town of Philipstown to advise the Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals, said attorney to be compensated at the rate of $250 per hour for attorneys and $100 per hour for paralegals for all time spent on any Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals matter other than litigation, legal services rendered for litigation in New York State courts will be billed at $275 per hour for attorneys and $100 per hour for paralegals, and for litigation in federal court, $295 per hour for attorneys and $100 per hour for paralegals. Also charged to the town will be certain costs and disbursements in accordance with the provided schedule.
Your motion, please. Second?
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Stenger, Glass, Hagstrom, Linders, and I believe it's Ayuli LLP as counsel to the Town of Philipstown to provide legal representation to the Town of Philipstown, to serve at the pleasure of the Town Board, to advise the Town Board, and to handle special land use issues. Said attorney to be compensated at the rate of $240 per hour. Legal services rendered for litigation in federal court will be billed at $295 per hour. Also charged to the town will be certain costs and disbursements in accordance with the provided schedule.
Can I get a motion, please? Second?
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Robert Chinque as counsel to handle various litigation matters, including tax certiorari litigation, and shall be compensated at a rate of $175 per hour, plus out-of-pocket expenses.
Sorry, motion,
Okay.
please. Second?
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Robert Cinque as counsel to the town attorney to handle code prosecutions and advise code administrator officer at the rate of pay not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Tara Percocello and Kelly McIntyre as marriage officers.
Second.
So
Second.
moved. Oh, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is Supervisor Van Tassel to appoint Robert Flaherty as deputy supervisor.
Bobby, will you accept deputy supervisor?
With honor.
Thank you, sir.
Next is Town Clerk Percocello to appoint Kelly McIntyre as deputy town clerk, deputy tax collector, and deputy registrar at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget. She accepts. She doesn't have a choice.
Did you hold her arm way up behind her?
Next is a resolution appointing Andrew Galler, chairman of the Conservation Board.
I did confirm with Andy that he will continue to serve very well for us. Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution authorizing compensation for the Garrison School Crossing Guard as per budget allocations not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion, please. So moved. Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Aye.
Next is a resolution appointing the following to the Continental Village Water District: Ralph Bassignani, Superintendent; Diane Barton, Water Tax Collector; Steve Leclerc, Assistant Water Treatment Plant Operator; and Bill Rim, Assistant Superintendent.
Can I get a motion, please? Second. All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Fred Romer as Superintendent of the Continental Village Park District.
Can I get a motion, please? So moved. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing the following to the Continental Village Park District Advisory Council. I was advised late yesterday that April McIver has resigned as of January 1st, so we are scratching April. And it will be Lou Leotti, Gorski, Estrella, Christopher Lubbers, and Jesse Lubbers.
Can I get a motion, please? Second. All in favor?
Need to replace that April, or can we do it with this?
We'll have to advertise.
I asked. I didn't even know she resigned. So I would think so, yeah.
We'll have to contact them. I'll get in touch with Chuck and see.
Next is a resolution setting the recreation pay scale for 2026 and this is all, the first is per season and the rest is per hour. For sports directors and managers, like I said, for the season, the range is $600 to $2,000. For the youth assistants, $16 to $25 per hour. Adult referees and umpires, $16 to $30 per hour. Youth referees and umpires, $16 to $25 per hour. Scorer timer, $16 to $25 per hour. Equipment handlers, $16 to $25. Preschool and after-school directors, $16 to $50. Assistants, $16 to $25. Custodial, $16 to $25. And for directors and instructors for camps, clinics, and theater, it'll be $16 to $50 an hour. Certified teachers, $16 to $50 an hour. Youth assistants, $16 to $50 an hour. Specialists, $20 to $65 an hour. And park facilities maintenance, $16 to $25 an hour.
Can I get a motion accepting the rec scales? Second. All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution setting the 2026 hourly rate for part-time stenographers and part-time clerks as follows. Ryan Allen at the Recycling Center is $22 an hour, and Lillian Mosier as a school crossing guard at $25 an hour.
Can I get a motion, please? Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Neil Zuckerman as chairman of the planning board.
I also confirmed with Neil that he wants to continue. So can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Robert D. as chairman of the zoning board of appeals.
Bob also has confirmed he wants to stay on.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Max Garfinkel as wetlands inspector and natural resource officer.
Motion, please. Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Karen Jackson as dog control officer.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Glenn P. Malia as special prosecutor for Judge Clark at an hourly rate of $175.
Motion, please. Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Angel I. Falcon as town prosecutor at an hourly rate of $175.
Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye.
Next is Supervisor Van Tassel appoints the following council members as liaisons to the following. For Highway Department, we have Councilman Flaherty. For Putnam County Liaison, Councilman Prentice. Planning Board, Councilman Flaherty. Land and Building, Supervisor Van Tassel and Councilman Flaherty. For the Zoning Board, Councilman Prentice. For the Conservation Board, Councilman Roush. For the Village of Nelsonville, Councilman Prentice. For the Village of Cold Spring, Councilman Roush. For the CVPOA, again, Councilman Roush. For the Haldane School, Councilman Roush and Councilman Prentice. For the Garrison School, Councilman Roush and Councilman Prentice. For Recreation, Councilwoman Farrell. For the Philipstown Hub, Councilwoman Farrell. For the Butterfield Library, Councilwoman Farrell. The Information Liaison, Councilwoman Farrell. Trails Committee, Councilman Roush. The Cemetery Committee, Councilman Flaherty and Councilwoman Farrell. And for the Comprehensive Plan Committee, Councilman Prentice.
I think I've discussed each of these with all of you. You guys are all on board for your assignments?
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, good?
Yes.
Valerie? Yes. Matt? Yep. All right, thank you.
Next is the 2026 holiday schedule. We have Martin Luther King Day, January 19th. President's Day is Monday, February 16th. Good Friday is Friday, April 3rd. Memorial Day is Monday, May 25th. Juneteenth is Friday, June 19th. Independence Day is Friday, observed Friday the 3rd. Labor Day is Monday, September 7th. Columbus Day is Monday, October 12th. Election Day is Tuesday, November 3rd. Veterans Day is a Wednesday, November 11th. Thanksgiving is on the 26th, and as usual, the day after is taken charge to time. And then this year, since Christmas is on a Friday, we'll do the day before, which will be charged to time instead of the day after, and then New Year's Day, 2027.
Okay. Can I get a motion accepting the holiday schedule?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Susan Kenny as the clerk to the supervisor at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And I vote aye.
This is new to the reorg. This is the resolution we had passed a few months ago, the resolution approving submission of local laws in final form by all means permitted under municipal home rule law, and this one's a roll call vote. Do you want me to read the whole thing?
Can I get a motion to waive the reading of this resolution? Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye. Can I get a motion accepting it? Second.
Second.
Councilman Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilman Prentice.
Aye.
Councilman Roush.
Aye.
Councilwoman Farrell.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing James Mano as deputy building inspector at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2026 budget.
Motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And I vote aye.
And that is all I have for the reorg. So motion to adjourn the reorg.
Can I get a motion to adjourn the reorganization? Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Ready? Welcome to the town board meeting of January 8th. We've already had the pledge at our reorg meeting. I would like to call the meeting to order and go into executive session with council.
To seek confidential advice.
Yeah, like Steve said, confidential advice of council. Motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ready? Can I get a motion to adjourn the executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay, so we're going to go to continuation of the public hearing for proposed local law entitled "A Local Law to Enact Amendments to Chapter 175," entitled "Zoning of the Town Code to Create a Gasoline Station Overlay District within the Town of Philipstown." So we had started this public hearing in
December 4th.
December 4th. We had noticed it wasn't really a typo, but it's a clarification of the southern boundary of this district, so we kept the public hearing open. So the change now says the gas station overlay district, GSOD, shall consist of the properties adjoining Route 9, commencing at the intersection of Route 9 with 301 and continuing southward to the southern boundary of the town. So it did say something about Route 202. So it's just from 301 south to the town boundary. So we'll open the public hearing for public comment. Anything on this topic? Anything from the board? Good. Okay, can I get a motion to close the public hearing on this matter?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay, the second is another public hearing. The notice of public hearing is hereby given that a public hearing will be held at the town board of the town.
It's the continuation.
Continuation of the local law to enact amendments of Chapter 175 entitled Zoning of the Town Code to create a hybrid petroleum storage facilities overlay district within the town of Philipstown. Again, it was the same situation where the southern border of the town was not mentioned, so it has been changed to the same description as the one before. So it's the intersection of Route 9 with 301 and continuing southward to the southern boundary of the town. So could I open the public hearing for the second continuation? Anything from the public? Anything from the board? Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next, we have the Philipstown Depot Theater annual meeting.
Meeting to order. Motion to call the meeting to order?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Claudio, you're up.
Under the Philipstown Depot Theater's bylaws, at their annual meeting, the members of the corporation, which is the town board, plus one member of the Recreation Commission, currently myself, and one appointee from the Philipstown Depot Theater, also currently myself, elect 1/3 of the Philipstown Depot Theater's board of directors each year for a 3-year term. This takes place at the time of the town board's reorganization meeting each year and at any other time designated by the board. The Philipstown Depot Theater has nominated the following 5 directors for re-election in the class of 2027. 2028. Claudio Marzolo, Christopher Novak, Catherine Plummer, Damian McDonald, and Karen Kapoor. Question for you, Steve. Should I step down should we separate me out?
I think that would be wise,
What?
yeah. Yes.
Yes. So I would like to nominate Chris Novak, Kathy Plummer, Damian McDonald, and Karen Kapoor.
Okay, well, the meeting has already been called to order. We do have a quorum. Can I get a motion to accept the nominations of Christopher Novak, Catherine Plummer, Damian McDonald, and Karen Kapoor?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. And I vote aye. So, and I will make a motion to appoint Claudio Marzolo, also with the class of 2028. Can I get a second on the motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thanks, Claudio. Okay, approval of minutes, workshop meeting, September 24th, 2025.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Workshop meeting, October 29th, 2025.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Workshop meeting, November 5th, 2025.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Philipstown Depot Theater, special meeting, November 6th, 2025.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Monthly meeting, November 6th, 2025.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Committee reports, Conservation Board.
We're probably not going to have many.
Oh, right, we don't have,
Because we're not going to have many tonight.
Right.
New appointee, right?
so, Ned,
I've been in touch with the Conservation Board, and they've got it, I'm sorry.
Oh, he needs a
Your microphone? Oh, that one doesn't work?
Oh.
Okay. Here you go.
I've exchanged emails with the Conservation Board. I'm set to go to a meeting next week.
perfect, thank you. So we'll expect a lovely report from you.
Lovely.
Perfect, thank you. Recreation,
Good evening. The Philipstown Recreation Commission had a successful registration for the winter on Monday, December 8th. For the lineup of programs, most of the programs are now full, and the rec center is offering a couple of new programs to the adult community, including seniors and others. The seniors also had a November luncheon, which went very well, and they had 90 to 95 guests for the events. They also had, the rec center had a holiday family event held on Saturday, December 13th, for a viewing of the Polar Express with hot cocoa, popcorn, and treats provided to all children who attended. Theater, Claudio Marzola is here tonight. Thank you, Claudio. We understand that you will be submitting the grant proposal for the new potential building to be constructed on the recreation property in Garrison. Also, the Rec Department reported Building and Grounds made significant purchases ahead of closing 2025, including all the materials needed to build 6 picnic tables for the pavilion. That's great. And the equipment and supplies for soundproofing the community room downstairs, in the rec center, outdoor equipment for the summer camp, including 9 square game and new tents, 2 new vacuum cleaners for the building, exercise equipment for the new adult program, new soccer balls for the spring and the fall, new volleyball straps, uniform shirts for year-round staffers, and furniture for the community room, and office furniture for the main office. On the grounds, the rec department has reported on Supervisor Van Tassel and Deputy Supervisor Bob Flaherty's meeting with the Garrison Institute and Gene Johnson to work through the costs for both the water tower and Central Hudson's electric bill for the recreation department. And that's the recreation department's report. Thank you to Cecily Hall.
Philipstown Hub?
Thank you to Michelle Cupper for the Philipstown Hub report. In December, the Hub was very busy. They did a holiday cards for hometown heroes for children on December 17th, and they made cards that were delivered to the first responders in Cold Spring. The Hub also hosted several groups, support group Story Circle, which is hosted with people at the Friendship Center for groups of individuals who are 60 and older. That was held on December 8th. The Women's Support Group was held December 1st and 15th for women with ADHD. The Grief and Loss Support Group was December 9th, and several other support groups were held, including on December 18th, a session with a therapist for Haldane students who have recently lost a parent or a loved one. The Hub has also received several grants, including a $10,000 grant from the Community Foundations of the Hudson Valley, and congratulations to the Hub on also being awarded $15,000 from the New York State Office of Mental Health through the efforts of Assemblywoman Dana Levenberg. The Hub received $5,200 from the Putnam County Youth Bureau, so thank you to Putnam County as well, and to Assembly Member Dana Levenberg for that funding. The Hub's also offering groups in January. As I said earlier, there were support groups held in December. There are also more scheduled for January, including January 13th is a grief and loss support group for anyone interested. Please go to the Hub's website. The Women with ADHD is meeting on January 20th, and the Story Circle for people 60 and older will be held at the Friendship Center on January 23rd and January 30th from 11:15 to 12:15. The Hub had 414 contacts in December 2025, and for the entire year from beginning of 2025 to the end, there were 2,415 people who contacted the Hub, which is a great number of people. And included in the Hub's report is a personal story, which is about a family that had a member of their family in rehab rehabilitation for addiction. The Hub worked not only to help provide the care resources for that family member, but to support the family whose loved one was in treatment. The Hub also had several letters and communications, emails, just from individuals who have been served. One individual wrote that the hub was invaluable and saved their life, and said the care coordinator was extremely helpful, which saved their life and changed their life. Another provider, a clinician, said they strongly appreciate the hub's professionalism and dedication to the community, and it serves a critical need for the families that they serve. So thank you again to the hub board and all the volunteers, and to Michelle Cupper, the executive director, and the care coordinators.
By all means, thank you. Thank you to the hub. Planning board.
Planning board, I attended the planning board meeting on December 18th, 7:30. There was one public hearing. It was for Michael Sapulo, 4 Cliffside Court in Garrison. They've been through the planning board for the last several months. They're proposing a cascading pool in their backyard, from one pool to another pool. The planning board's been there for two site visits. This was a public hearing. There was no public comment whatsoever, so the public hearing was closed, and they're waiting on word from the Conservation Board. They asked the Conservation Board for their input, and they're just waiting to hear back from them regarding that. Other business, old business, Hume, 230 Jaycox Road. This is the third time in front of the planning board. There was a site visit earlier in November. They went over what they discussed at the site visit. There was one comment that came up. Originally, they had a shed that was going to be next to the pool. They were going to expand on that. They're no longer expanding the shed by the pool. They're going to keep the shed exactly as is. Just so everyone may not know, this is a house the house is existing. They're ripping the whole house down and building a brand new house, is what it's going to be. So there will be a public hearing scheduled for January 22nd, which is the next planning board meeting. Also, the planning board meeting changed from the third Thursday to the fourth Thursday of the month now, going forward. In new business, there's Grissom, Hammer, and Skolk private road off Route 9D in Garrison, tax map 81-1-50. It's a minor project. Applicant is seeking approval of new construction of a single-family home, 3,200 square feet, preserved by a surface sewers and a new private well. Expected actions, they made it a type 2 seeker action, and they're doing a site visit on January 18th at 9:30. Anyone would like to go, it's open to the public if anyone wants to see it. Again, the meeting was adjourned at 8:55. Next meeting is January 22nd at 7:30. Again, new date, the fourth Thursday as opposed to the third Thursday.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you to the zoning board. I'm sorry, the planning board. Zoning, we will have no report, but Nat, you're going to
Yeah,
attend.
meetings,
It's not working.
okay. There's a meeting of the zoning board of appeals on Monday, January the 12th, and I will attend.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, highway.
Submitted by Adding Hotel, excuse me, Highway Superintendent. The Highway Department would like to give some precautionary reminders of the snow-covered roads during the winter months. Snow causes decreased visibility while driving, so ensure as few accidents as possible. Urge drivers to keep their distance between each other and keep their speed slow. Treat driving in the snow like you're driving in the fog with your headlights on, even in the daytime. Do not push or shovel snow into the road, off of your driveway and off of your properties into the road. Please be considerate of the highway workers. They're dedicated individuals working long nights and very early mornings to keep our roads safe as possible. Move personal items away from the shoulders of the roads. If not, the plows will hit them. Highway crew has been out at all snow events throughout the month of sanding, salting, and plowing. They have continued to do potholing as weather permits. Work has been finished on a Schuster Lane bank reestablishment project. Road resurface was finished in Barrett Pond Road, Father's Drive to Fishkill Road. The department received approximately 20 phone calls and emails, and spent approximately $20,000 on vehicle maintenance for the month of December. End of report.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you to the highway department. Building and land, I have nothing.
Just one thing on the building and land. We're in the process of getting the solar panels. They were supposed to start delivering material on Monday. It got delayed, so they're hopefully going to be delivering it starting tomorrow. They will be working just on weekends. It's not being away the crew up there, so that's the plan right now. Once they have weather permits, they'll start working on weekends, Saturdays, and Sundays. If it seems like it's taking them too long to get done, they may start working during the week.
Okay.
I just want to give everyone a quick update on that.
Great, and that's on the highway garage.
That's highway garage, correct.
All righty, thank you. Cemetery committee, we have nothing.
Nothing.
And you and Judy, Bobby and Judy
Yep.
are going to take over the cemetery committee.
Yes.
All righty, moving on to the agenda.
First on the agenda is a resolution approving the ground lease with the Depot Theater, and this is a roll call vote.
Steve, do you want to just give a little background on this?
Sure, I don't have a microphone, is that okay?
It's only this one?
Should I, you want to take
You
it
wanna
out of
just
the thing
pass
and
it?
just pass it around?
Will it reach?
Is that going to reach, John?
Let's hope. Here you go, why don't you take this spot?
Why don't we just switch it for a second?
There you go.
Sorry about that. All right, so as the board is aware, Depot Theater is offering to construct and dedicate to the town a building to be called the Backstage Building at the Rec Center. And in order to do that, it needs to obtain grant money from the state. The town previously approved a lease for the building, conditioned upon the building being built and various requirements as far as, getting the amendment to the conservation easement that's on the rec center property, et cetera. And the feedback that Depot Theater got from the state was that they were concerned that there wasn't an immediate possessory right to the land. It's one of the considerations that the state has in deciding whether or not to award the funds. So I talked with Carrie Hilpert, who's representing Depot Theater on this, and she came up with the idea that the Depot Theater could have an immediate possessory interest if a ground lease was entered. That is to say, the town's already agreed to lease the building once the building is built. But when it kind of is implicit that the ground underneath the building will go with that. But there's a separate type of lease you can enter into under which the ground itself, the land, is leased to Depot Theater. It can only be used under the lease for construction of the Depot Theater building. So the lease doesn't harm the town and it doesn't really help them unless the building is built. But it would give the Depot Theater that immediate possessory right to the land, which the state is looking for in determining whether or not to grant the money to build the building. So what you have before you this evening is it's called a ground lease. Because the town has the right to alienate the property, it can lease it for as long as it wants. Depot Theater is requesting 99 years. Now, any alienation of land or interests in land by the town is subject to permissive referendum. So this ground lease, even if the board votes on it tonight, will be subject to permissive referendum. But if you approve it, it will give Depot Theater what it needs in order to submit its application for the grant money to build the Backstage Building. It's a typical ground lease as far as that goes. The responsibility for insurance, maintaining the property and everything is upon the Depot Theater. The town continues to be the owner of the underlying land, of course, but your responsibility, other than maintaining your own insurance on it, because you still own it, is nominal. So that's the long and the short of the lease. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions from the board? Are there any questions from the audience in reference to that? Thank you. Okay, could I get a motion to waive the reading of this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adopt the ground lease for the Depot Theater Backstage Building?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Councilman Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilman Prentice.
Aye.
Councilman Roush.
Aye.
Councilwoman Farrell.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you.
Next is a resolution requesting the transfer of title to a portion of Fair Street from the County of Putnam to the Town of Philipstown, and this is again a roll call vote.
Okay, so this goes back to the possibility of the town and the village combining to do a sidewalk project that would continue the sidewalk on Fair Street from the north end of Mayor's Park to the Gateway Trail of Little Stony Point. If you're familiar with the amount of hikers that are walking that section of roadway, they either walk that road or they walk 9D down by the tennis court. So we are hoping to put in a grant, which I'll discuss later, a TAP grant for both sidewalks on Fair Street as well as sidewalks on 9D. In order to do that, I might as well discuss it now. In order to do that TAP grant or apply for the TAP grant, the town or the village has to show that we have the funds to build this. So one is approximately a $3 million project. I wish it was 3,000. $3 million. The other one is between 1.5 and 2 million. So the grant, the TAP grant, which is Transportation Assistance Program, will be an 80% reimbursement grant. The other 20%, the town or the village or somebody is responsible for. But in order for us to apply, we have to prove that we have the funds to build this, and then they'll be reimbursed, which we don't. And I don't feel, and I know it's a similar feeling on this board, that the town or the village should be building these sidewalks to connect to the New York State Park. In my gut, 9D is a New York State road, and it's connecting people to a New York State park, that New York State should be building the sidewalk. So their offer is the grant. So Mayor Foley and I went to the county executive to see if Putnam County was willing to guarantee the funds for us to apply, which they couldn't really because of the time frame. This application has to be in on January 15th. It would have to go before the legislature, and I don't think the want was there to begin with. But the offer was, A, they're going to help us with the engineering, Putnam County. They're also going to help us with the application process. Barbara Barossa, the planner for Putnam County, is very versed in grant applications, so she's going to assist us with the process. The other part of the puzzle is that little strip of land on Fair Street is owned by Putnam County. So in order for us, in the long run, to be able to develop this and have more control over that section of Fair Street, we are proposing to take that property from Putnam County. It really makes no sense for Putnam to have it because there's no connecting road that's a county road. It's state and village. We'll work out a maintenance agreement with either the village or the state to maintain it, but it made no sense for Putnam County to have this road. So the proposal in front of us is the first step for us to acquire this land from Putnam County. We have to pass a resolution requesting it from Putnam County. So does anybody have any questions? Steve, did I explain that correctly? I think I have. Thank you.
Are they going to want anything in return?
No, they want to get rid of it.
This is a section, they just repaved that section too,
It is newly repaved,
Right,
yes.
which is a
yeah.
good thing.
Yep, it is.
And
Yep.
are there any risks in terms of liability or anything to the town?
Steve,
Well, you'll own land that you didn't own previously, but I mean, it's a roadway, it's like, you'll get CHIPS money for it.
we will get additional
We'll get
CHIPS
additional
money, yeah.
funding? Well,
It's
that's good.
0.17 miles, I believe.
Yeah, it's not a long
It's not.
It's not a big stretch of road, so. All right. Any other questions, anything from the audience? Yes?
Are you talking about the wetlands there?
There's two parcels. So there was one parcel transferred to the village already, which is underneath the wetland, but this is the roadway and the adjoining road on both
So
sides.
it wouldn't impact the wetlands, it would just stay on the road?
The sidewalk proposal may go into, 2 or 3 feet into, not even, probably just a retaining wall. It's not going to affect the tidal basin whatsoever.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So can I get a motion to waive the reading of the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Can I get a motion requesting transfer of title to the portion of Fair Street from the county of Putnam to the town of Philipstown? Second.
Second.
Councilman Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilman Prentice.
Aye.
Councilman Roush.
Aye.
Councilwoman Farrell.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you.
Next is a resolution introducing a proposed local law to revise the town's zoning codes regulations regarding conservation subdivisions, and this is a roll call vote, and the resolution also would set the public hearing for March 5th.
Steve, you want to give a little background on this one?
You want me to use the mic or just speak?
Can you hear him? You can hear him. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. There are different types of subdivisions. There are conventional subdivisions where you chop the land up into rectangular or square lots And it pretty much is divided up that way, each with a home on it. There are cluster subdivisions where you have a large portion of land left, I won't say undeveloped, because you can have walking trails and bocce courts and other amenities in them, but the homes are grouped together on smaller lots altogether, usually at one end of the one portion of the lot. And then there are what are called conservation subdivisions. You have a specific provision in your code for a conservation subdivision. Now, conservation subdivision, under the way it's currently written, can be a conventional designed subdivision, with equal lots, all uniform, or it can be clustered. But the difference is, in a conservation subdivision, that open area of the lot is under a conservation easement and protected as open space.
Correct.
Conservation subdivisions are, they can be voluntarily for smaller subdivisions, but generally speaking are applicable to subdivisions of 4 lots or more, and they apply only to residential subdivisions. And when you have a proposed subdivision in the town of Philipstown for 4 lots or more, the developer is required to go through what's called a conservation analysis. In the conservation analysis, they take a look at the environmentally sensitive or otherwise important areas of the lot to see if it's worth preserving. Are there wetlands? Are there steep slopes? Are there scenic views? Is there something of historical significance on the lot that makes it worth preserving? And if there is, then they can proceed with a conservation subdivision. If there is not, then there's really no point in having a conservation subdivision. Right now, the way your code is written, for subdivisions of 4 lots or more, the conservation analysis is performed, and the planning board has the option, if they find that there is significant conservation-worthy aspects to the property, of requiring a conservation subdivision or not. And there really isn't any guidance as to how they make that determination. So this is one of the points, and there's a number of them, that the board, you created a committee, the Zoning Update Advisory Committee, to look into it. And the committee has proposed, and it's written in the draft local law, that from now on, if the planning board finds that the conservation analysis shows that there are worthwhile aspects of the property worth preserving, and that conservation subdivision would be more protective of them than a conventional subdivision, which it almost always will.
Right.
The planning board is required to allow development only through conservation subdivision, so they tightened up that particular aspect of it. Now, in a conservation subdivision, 60% of the land, the lot, is required to be protected by a conservation easement. So there's a smaller area to be left to be developed by the property owner. And the way that the code gets around, makes allowance for that, is that in a conservation subdivision, you're allowed smaller lot size. That's not to say that you can develop the entire area that's left for, outside the 60% for homes. But rather, what has to happen is the developer prepares what's called
It's the bulk analysis group.
It's a yield plan, excuse me, I couldn't think of the word. So what the yield plan does is it takes a look at the conventional subdivision, if you cut it up into rectangles, and how many homes, how many buildable lots you could get out of the property, because sometimes there's water on it, or steep slopes, or what have you, you only wind up with a certain one. And that's the maximum number of lots that you can put in a conservation subdivision on the smaller lots, even though, because they're smaller lots, you can theoretically put more there. Now, the way your code is currently written, there are 2 ways that you can reach that number. One is through a yield plan, which is exactly what it sounds like. You take a subdivision, plow the property, and you draft up the areas that you say could be a lot, and you show that, well, there isn't water there, I'm not building on a lake, and there isn't a steep slope, I'm not building on a 45-degree angle. You show I could wind up with 10, 15, whatever it is, X number of lots, if I develop this as a conservation subdivision. And that would be the number you could have. But right now your code also has a provision in it for what's called a density calculation. And the density calculation attempts to determine the number of lots that would be developable on a piece of property using, well, basically mathematics. It's like, well, it's this wide and it's this long and these are the elevations on it. And we only tried the density, there's only been one of these developments that's come down, at least in my time with the board. And the density calculation is completely unworkable. In fact, you have in your code a provision saying that even if the property owner goes through the density calculation, or formula rather, to come up with the yield of lots, the planning board can still require them to prepare a plat showing what the yield would be, because they don't trust the outcome from the density calculation. So the Zoning Update Advisory Committee recommended eliminating from the code the provision for the density calculation, or the density formula as a means of determining the number of lots. And that's what's in, one of the things that's in the local law that you have before you. Currently, the lots under your code, in a conservation subdivision can be clustered, but they're not required to be clustered. So you could have what basically looks like a conventional subdivision, and then a portion of protected land off to one side or perhaps surrounding it or what have you. And that's not really the intent of conservation subdivisions. You want to be as environmentally friendly as you possibly can. So the change recommended by the Zoning Update Advisory Committee was to require clustering if you're going to do conservation subdivisions, so you don't wind up with a kind of a cookie cutter pattern for the lots. The uses permitted on conservation subdivisions currently under your code include not only residential uses, but certain commercial and agricultural uses. For example, convenience stores. And we went around the horn in the last conservation subdivision application with the possibility of having agricultural uses in with the subdivision. That was going to be a dressage stable, I believe. But you could wind up with vineyards or goodness knows what else. And they really aren't compatible, so the Zoning Update Advisory Committee felt, compatible uses with the supposedly environmentally friendly, minimal footprint residential uses for conservation subdivisions. So the Zoning Update Advisory Committee recommended allowing only the residential uses listed in the code as permitted within a conservation subdivision. So there'll be no more agricultural uses, no convenience stores.
So if there was a continuation of the property that adjoined a commercial route, say Route 9, that conservation subdivision would have to be separated from the commercial property. I'm thinking of the one that's currently.
Absolutely.
Right, so that would require a separation of those properties.
You could have only residential uses within the conservation subdivision, no
Right.
commercial use at all.
Gotcha.
Well, there's storage units for owners within the
Right,
development.
not a traditional.
There's daycare, which
Right.
could go for outside of it because daycare might not be completely sustainable just based on the owners within it.
Right.
There's minimal office space, which would be again for the people who are within it.
Right.
But other than those kind of accessory
Gotcha.
commercial uses, it would strictly be residential under this proposed amendment. As I mentioned earlier, open space has to be held subject to a conservation easement. What the code currently provides is that the conservation easement can be held by the town, or it can be held by a qualified not-for-profit. And an issue that came up in the course of processing the last application was if you have the town holding the conservation easement, you don't really need an endowment, a payment into escrow of a large sum of money to allow for policing and enforcement of the terms of the conservation easement over time, because the town can tax and impose any cost that it incurs on the property. But that's not the case if you have a not-for-profit, and they could run out of money theoretically, and if they don't have the money to enforce the conservation easement, it's not worth much. So we've added to, pursuant to the Zoning Update Advisory Committee's recommendation, a provision saying that if a not-for-profit is going to hold the conservation easement, that there must be an endowment to fund the conservation easement.
So anybody other than the town holds it, it needs to be an
It must be
endowment.
by endowment, that's correct.
Which
Those
we-
are the highlights of what's being proposed in this change. There's some grammatical changes, cleaning up a little language here and there, but those are the main substantive revisions that are being proposed.
Any comments from the board?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I just trying to remember how far back this matter goes. It seems to me we've been talking about trying to tighten up this part of the zoning code for at least 10 years.
Yep.
And I'm delighted to see that we've done so. Are we going to try to vote on it tonight, or no?
Well, we have that public hearing
It
here.
will be scheduled for a public hearing.
I see. Would we have a chance to have a workshop meeting, something to?
Well, the public hearing could have a full discussion.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, it's good work. I'd like to read it a few more times
Absolutely.
and understand all
Absolutely.
the things that it says.
Absolutely.
Yes, and thank you, Steve, and the members of the subcommittee.
Yes, I
that
think,
worked on this.
Richard, you were on the committee? Anybody else here was on the committee?
Judy and I, that's it.
Judy. Thank you. Would you like to comment, Richard? Anything you'd like to add?
I have a question.
Sure.
about it. Should I go
Sure.
further, or does that work? I just saw, there were a couple of things I had a question about. I know I could have asked you in a meeting, but I didn't have that opportunity. Anyway, one of the things it talks about not being able to use open space in the calculation. But most of these properties are on open space overlays. So that's what I just didn't get that.
So, I didn't want to get into this, but I can briefly summarize. I mentioned that you have to have 60% of the property as open space in order to qualify as a conservation subdivision. There's a provision in the code that if you have more land, more than 60% as open space, you qualify for bonus lots. The planning board can award bonus lots depending on the amount of land that you put into open space. And the way that the code currently reads is it's any land. Any land that you put in, buildable, not buildable, whatever it is, it qualifies for those additional lots. And the Zoning Update Advisory Committee felt that that wasn't right. If you want additional lots, the land that you're putting into open space should be buildable land. Land
Not-
that isn't subject to wetlands or
Not the
steep
junk.
slopes or it's
Not junk land, basically, putting in,
Well,
well,
junk
nothing
land,
is
but
junk, but it's
if-
not,
if
Not buildable.
Right.
if you're looking for additional lots,
Right.
I'm getting this because I gave you buildable lots there is the idea.
Right.
So that's what it's put in. It isn't just open space that qualifies for bonus lots. It's buildable land, which is defined in this.
No, I understand that. It's just when I read it, it mentions wetlands don't qualify or all, steep slopes don't qualify. But then it says open space, it can't be, doesn't qualify. And that seemed a little, yeah, it was just one of the categories of types of land that are,
well, we'll have to
you know,
review it.
and I just didn't understand what it meant by open space since it's all in an open space overlay.
Let me say this, highlight or red line or whatever it is you like, the section that you have a question about, you can email it to me, or you can wait and bring it up at the public hearing, whatever it is suits you.
No, let's email it so it's taken care of prior to the public hearing.
Yeah, we'll address it.
Then we can have it here. Anything else from the public?
So Kara, that says March 5th, 2025 at 6, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's a typo.
2026. yeah. Okay, we might as well go ahead and read through this one.
You want me to?
Yes, please.
I'm going to steal your mic then. So this is the resolution introducing a proposed local law to revise the town zoning code's regulations regarding conservation subdivisions. Whereas the town board of the town of Philipstown has a proposed local law before it entitled a local law to amend Article 5 entitled Open Space Development of Chapter 175 entitled Zoning of the Town Code in regard to approval of conservation subdivisions within the town of Philipstown. And whereas in order to consider enacting the proposed law, it must be formally introduced and a public hearing must be scheduled and held upon it. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. One, that the movement of this resolution does hereby introduce the above proposed local law. And two, that a public hearing on the proposed local law will be set for March 5th, 2026 at 7:30 p.m. And that due notice of the same is directed to be given by publication and posting. Three, that a copy of the proposed local law shall be sent to Putnam County Planning Department on referral pursuant to General Municipal Law 239M. that a copy of the proposed local law shall be referred to the town's planning board for review and comment, and that the town board, as the sole involved agency, does hereby declare the proposed local law to be an unlisted action under SECRA and authorizes the town supervisor to sign the environmental assessment form, Part 1.
Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Councilman Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilman Prentice.
Aye.
Councilman Roush.
Aye.
Councilwoman Farrell.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you. And thank you to the committee.
Next is a resolution authorizing the Highway Department purchase of a Fisher Tempest 4.0 cubic yard stainless steel sander from Hudson River Truck and Trailer in the amount of $8,250 out of the new equipment line.
So this is a budgeted item that was in their new equipment. I know they had one fail during the last storm, and it's beyond repair. So can I get a motion to approve the purchase of a 4-yard stainless steel sander for the Highway Department?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution authorizing Supervisor Van Tassel to sign the agreement between the Town of Philipstown and the Putnam County Humane Society for the provision of dog shelter services for the year 2026.
So this is something we do every year, so our animal control officer has a place to bring dogs that are unruly, which is in Carmel. Can I get a motion to allow me to sign the Putnam County Humane Society provision for dog shelters for the year of 2026?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution in support for the New York State Assembly and Senate to pass a strong packaging reduction and recycling infrastructure act. And this is a roll call vote, and Heidi Wendell is here to give a brief presentation on the benefits to Philipstown.
Come on up, Heidi, thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Happy New Year, everybody. And so before I start, I just wanted to hand up a slightly, I know you were given a copy of the resolution that we're asking the board to consider, but I modified it just a tiny bit to include the actual name of our assembly member, Dana Levenberg, and State Senator Rob Rawlson. This is at the very bottom. I don't know if you all have, can I hand up a copy of this? Yeah. Sure. Okay.
So they're both signatories as well.
Well, they are just now mentioned in here instead of it being the more generic format for the resolution, which just said our assembly member and our state senator.
Okay.
I just have.
You okay with?
Sure.
Okay, so thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you briefly on behalf of the town's Climate Smart Task Force about a proposed resolution for the town to consider passing in support of a bill that is pending in the New York State Legislature that would reduce plastic packaging. The Climate Smart Task Force is supporting this bill and urges the town to pass the resolution that we've submitted for the town's consideration, and I just handed the resolution up with just that small modification that I've just mentioned. We've also submitted a list of other towns in New York State that have passed these resolutions in support of the bill, as well as cities, counties, and villages. If anybody needs a copy of that list, I have it. But on the list are Beacon, New Rochelle, Dobbs Ferry, Hastings-on-Hudson, Tarrytown, Rockland County, many others. The bill, which is sponsored by State Senator Pete Harcum, whom I'm sure you all know, would require producers of packaging such as Amazon and FedEx to gradually reduce the amount of plastic in their packaging over the next 12 years by 30%. And it would also impose fees on producers of plastic packaging that would be used to reimburse municipal governments, such as the villages in Philipstown, for costs of waste disposal. Currently, taxpayers pay the entire cost of waste disposal, with producers of packaging contributing nothing to that cost. And this bill would take some of those costs off of consumers/taxpayers and put them on the producers of the packaging, which would compensate municipalities, such as the villages in Philipstown, for some of the costs of waste disposal. And that's one of the reasons why so many counties and villages and towns have already signed on to this for the financial benefits, including New York City, for example. In addition, the bill would reduce the amount of waste municipalities would have to dispose of and require producers to use more recyclable materials in their packaging. The bill would also ban from packaging 17 toxic chemicals and materials that are known to be harmful to human health and the environment, such as PFAS. You may have read the recent article in the Highlands Current about microplastics, which are tiny bits of plastic that have now entered all our water supply. They're in the human brain, organs, etc. And one of the problems with microplastics is that these toxic chemicals that this bill would ban is part of the reason why microplastics are extremely dangerous, including for human fertility. The proposed resolution would express the town's support for the bill, which is called the Packaging Reduction and Recycling Infrastructure Act. Basically, the resolution that's been passed by the other municipalities on the list is more or less the same as the one we're asking you to consider passing. The idea behind local governments passing these resolutions is to show that there's support for the bill at the local level around the state. And the reason that's needed is because this bill has passed twice already in the Senate and has passed through all the committees in the Assembly, but last year the Speaker of the Assembly, Carl Hastie, would not allow the bill to get to the floor. Some of you may have heard Dana Levenberg talk about this at the Taconic Education Center maybe about 6 months ago. She's a very strong supporter of this bill and has been for some time, and she was one of the Assembly members who, as she described it, stormed Carl Hastie's office demanding that the bill be brought to the floor, but he did not allow it to be put to a vote. So that's hence this effort to get municipalities to express support. There's already been a poll done by the Siena pollsters that shows that the bill is very heavily supported all throughout New York State. As I mentioned, it's going to bring money into municipalities to help pay for waste disposal, in addition to reducing garbage, increasing recyclables instead of plastic in our waste stream, et cetera. So,
I just had a couple of questions.
Yes.
So, I mean, I fully support reducing waste and fully support it. My question is, if it's, say, a manufacturer in Connecticut, and we pass this law in New York State, how will that affect somebody who's manufacturing and shipping from outside of the state into New York? I mean, this question might not be for you, but I'm just trying to think of the logistics of, oh yeah, we have this law, but the manufacturer and the packaging is happening in another state. How is it going to improve the situation here?
Well, any producer of packaging that's bringing packaging into New York would be subject to the fees. Reducing the plastic elements.
If I order something from a manufacturer in Connecticut and it's shipped by Amazon to my house, it'll be in a different package than it would be if it went someplace else in the country.
If that's how the producers choose to respond to the legislation, possibly. I mean, the expectation is that this legislation would probably lead to changes in packaging. For example, California has kind of similar legislation. A few other states, Maine, Colorado, have sort of
Your two biggest
similar.
purchasers are regulating. Hopefully, it would affect nationwide.
I mean, you may have already noticed that sometimes you end up with all paper packaging, even now. Once in a while, you get this, instead of having the Russian doll effect of plastic packaging for some small object, you'll get what actually looks like a piece of recyclable paper. So, I mean, the expectation is that things that can be fairly easily moved to paper packaging probably will be as a result of this type of legislation, possibly nationally, in fact, because that just might be easier for producers, but it's hard to say.
Anything from the board?
I just want to add that I think it's a good piece of legislation that was introduced, and I hope it moves with our support and other municipalities. because I've noticed too, and especially over the holiday season, all the plastic that was in boxes that came through. But again, the supervisor's question about how that would be regulated and enforced in New York State is a good one, how we do that. But I think it's a start.
You used to get a paper carton with your eggs, now it's a plastic carton.
No, it's plastic.
Yeah. Anything else? All righty, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the
Is
time.
the town clerk comfortable with the change to the resolution?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So can I get a motion to waive the reading of the resolution? Can I get a motion to accept support for the New York State Assembly and Senate to pass a strong packaging reduction and recycling infrastructure act, Senate Bill 1464, Assembly Bill 1749?
So moved.
Second. Councilman Flaherty. Aye. Councilman Prentice.
Aye.
Councilman Roush.
Aye.
Councilwoman Farrell.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution adopting a local law to amend Chapter 175 entitled Zoning of the Town Code to create a gasoline station overlay district within the town of Philipstown, and this is a roll call vote.
So again, we've had a public hearing on this. We've been through this a few different times. I believe the board is comfortable. Is there any questions from the board in reference to the gas station overlay district, which we amended the southern boundary in our prior public hearing this evening? Any questions? Board and public, anything from the public?
No, thank you again to the committee members who worked on this.
Absolutely. Okay, can I get a motion to waive the reading?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? And I vote aye. Can I get a motion adopting a local law to amend to Chapter 175 entitled Zoning of the Town Code to create a gasoline station overlay district within the town of Philipstown?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Councilman Flaherty. Councilman Prentice.
Aye.
Councilman Roush.
Aye.
Councilwoman Farrell.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution adopting a local law to amend Chapter 175 entitled Zoning of the Town Code to create a hybrid petroleum storage facilities overlay district within the town of Philipstown, and this again is a roll call vote.
Again, we went through this earlier. It's the same group with the southern boundary being identified properly in this one. Can I get a motion to waive the reading of the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can I get a motion adopting a local law to amend Chapter 175 entitled Zoning of the Town Code to create a hybrid petroleum storage facilities overlay district within the town of Philipstown?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Councilman Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilman Prentice.
Aye.
Councilman Roush.
Aye.
Councilwoman Farrell.
Aye.
And I vote aye. You're not sleeping over there, are you, Ned? I'm just checking.
Next is a resolution approving the amended lease with the Depot Theater, and this again is a roll call vote.
Steve, you want to?
Sure, there was two significant changes that Depot Theater requested in regard to, it's still a conditional lease for the building, which is important.
Right.
But one of them was that, just like the ground lease, you changed the term from 40 years to 99 years. Again, Depot Theater has the right to terminate it on 30 days' notice. The town has the right to terminate the lease in the event that there's a breach or Depot Theater goes out of business or something along those lines. So you'd be changing the term from 40 years to 99 years. And the other one was that there were a couple of conditions listed in the initial lease that had been adopted, one of which was the OSLIT conservation easement on the recreation department property had to be amended. It has been amended. The amendment was just reported today, as a matter of fact. And SEQA review, I believe, was the other condition, because that's been completed on it as well. So 99 years for the term, and just a couple of technical changes, removing terms, conditions rather, would have already been satisfied.
So we've been through this several times with the board. Everybody's on board, I'm assuming. I hope with all this work that was put in to get this lease completed, that they get this grant and this building does go up. I've met with the board a few times, and Caitlin Chadwick, who's the program director, And it sounds like it's going to be a wonderful facility, and it's going to really focus on kids that are not in the sports, but they're in the arts and looking for their place to build sets, do costuming, full lighting. It will have a absolute mirror of the stage at the Depot Theater that they can rehearse on, which enables the Depot Theater to open and operate more nights of the year. It'll be a perfect fit for the Recreation Department and the Depot Theater, so I strongly support it. I hope that they're successful with their grant. We've literally jumped through hoops, not only last year, but then again this year, to get this application in on time. So my appreciation to you, Steve, and to the Depot Theater Board for getting this together. And to clerk, I know the clerk went through a lot with this. So can I get a motion to waive the reading of the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Can I get a motion adopting the amended lease with the Depot Theater for the backstage building?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote. Councilman Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilman Prentice.
Aye.
Councilman Roush.
Aye.
Councilwoman Farrow.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you.
Next is to schedule any workshops or meetings.
Hold on, we have we have to accept a resignation.
Well, yeah, but that's later.
Oh,
We're not there yet.
I had it in the other one, but, okay.
Oh.
All right, go ahead.
We do have a workshop next Wednesday at 7:30. That was originally scheduled to discuss.
We're going to be discussing,
South,
so
yeah.
everybody hears this, we're going to send out notices as well. This is the discussion on the South Mountain Pass road improvements. It's the paving, drainage, and safety recommendations that we've received from SLR Engineering. So we have Ron Gaynor coming, we have SLR coming to make the presentation on the safety recommendations. I want to get this wrapped up so we are ready to go to bid as soon as possible, as soon as the paving facilities open back up and the road is stable enough to pave. So we're going to have this last discussion. The last discussion we had about it, there were a few recommendations from a few of the residents in reference to some of the drainage plans. And Ron, I spoke with Ron again today about it. They've been addressed, and so we're going to make one last presentation. We're going to wrap this package up, and it'll be ready to go out to bid. The one recommendation is 2 speed bumps that are beyond the town of Philipstown, at the very south, or actually the very east end of South Mountain Pass is in the town of Cortland. Obviously, we can't do those changes to a road that we don't own. So my thought is to just remove those from this plan, and then in the future, we'll try to coordinate that with the town of Cortland, because I think it's an important part of the overall safety of that roadway. So just want to get that out there, that it's going to be the discussion. Yes, Ned?
Quick question. After this workshop meeting, can the town act immediately, or what's the?
Well, we'll be ready to, the bid package will be put together by the town engineer, and then we will approve the bid package, then it will go out for bid for spring construction.
So is that approval process part of the workshop next week?
No.
Or is that's, okay.
This will be to finalize the package. Once the package is finalized and everybody's on board with it, it will be, the town engineer will finalize it, then we will approve it to go to bid.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
We also have the monthly meeting on February 5th, and now, I know it's not listed there, but now we have the public hearing for the local law on the conservation subdivisions for March 5th.
March 5th. And Nat, you had contacted me today to suggest that we do
I think we should have a workshop and Delmar's here to give the Garrison Landing Water District people an opportunity to understand all that's going
Certainly,
on,
certainly.
and particularly as it has to do with their tax bills.
So are we open for the 21st?
I don't believe so. Hold on, I can check the
We can't
calendar.
do it next, the 14th too?
Well, I
If you
think
want to
we're-
be here
I think
a
the
while.
14th is going to be a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have to check the court's schedule.
So let's tentatively schedule it for January 21, providing, well, we could always go to the rec center. So let's schedule it for January 21st to be here. If there's a court date here on January 21st, then we'll be at the rec center on the 21st.
7:30?
Sorry, 7:30, yep. I just want to.
Nope, I think we're good for the 21st.
Okay, so we're going to schedule it for here on January 21st. I just want to make sure that the town comptroller is available to explain the financing.
Sorry. Yes.
Any other workshops?
Well, I just want to make sure people are aware of this because some people think we're doing things in the back room regarding this water district, and it's not true.
No.
I just want to make sure everyone
We've
get the
had,
word out there, everyone in the Garrison Water District, we're having this workshop on the 21st.
we have had several public meetings, including a public hearing in reference to the refinancing. So it's been public, but we're more than happy to answer any questions that anybody has. So.
Next up is the Code Enforcement Monthly Report. This is for December 2025. Total fees collected, $100,297.
Nice job.
I think so.
Merry Christmas.
Total number of permits issued, 21. There were 4 additions, alterations, or repairs to residential buildings, 17 all other permits, and 29 certificates of occupancy were issued.
Thanks to Kevin. Listen to me, Kevin, Greg.
Next up is any other business that may come before the board.
Okay, so we do have,
Right here.
you have it here. We have a resignation letter for the Town Zoning Board. It's Mary Kate Ephraim is resigning from the Philipstown Zoning Board of Appeals. She's grateful to have the opportunity to serve this role. Can I get a motion to accept Mary Kate's resignation from the Zoning Board of Appeals and also to authorize the town clerk to advertise an open position?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So we were supposed to be announcing tonight that Mary Kate is going to take over as the town attorney. She is the attorney that works for Stengler and Glass. If you don't know Mary Kate, she has been a very active part of our community. She's served on several volunteer committees, and she's also been on the zoning board, I think for 3 or 4 years.
Couple years, yeah.
So we're fortunate. We advertised and advertised and advertised, and I made about 30 phone calls to try to get an attorney to accept us. And it seems like it's a dying art, that nobody wants to do municipal law. And most of the firms that I spoke to have clients, and with Steve retiring, there was like 12 other towns that needed a town attorney. The younger attorneys that are coming on board don't want to work nights, so they don't want to take on municipal accounts. We were fortunate enough to reach out, and Nat had suggested I speak to Mary Kate. I didn't know she was a municipal attorney, but has quite a bit of municipal experience as well as the members of her firm. So I'm very comfortable to have Mary Kate taking over. She was going to be here tonight, but she's sick, so she couldn't speak. She said, "I'm well enough to come." I said, "Well, if you can't talk, it doesn't make sense, and we don't need to be sick." So I'm happy to announce that. And to Steve, this will probably be the last meeting that we have him here. From me personally, I can't thank you enough for the guidance that you've given me over the past 17 years I've been on the board. And a lot of it, my experience has been with you. And on behalf of the town of Philipstown, I don't think we could be represented better than by you and your firm. No matter where I go or who I mention Steve Gabba's name to, it's top quality. As you can see, always remains calm and cool, knows his law. And Steve, my pleasure working with you, and thank you so much for what you've done for the town. And I still have your number, so I'll be calling.
So do I.
Thank you.
The clock isn't going when you call them now.
No, well, for one more month. For one more month. So
February
Steve will
1st.
be on for the rest of this month, and as well as Mary Kate. There will be some transition that takes place. We were supposed to meet this evening, but like I said, Mary Kate was ill, so we're going to pick another date and start some of the transfer from Steve to Mary Kate. So, again, thank you. Anything else from the board?
No, just want to wish everyone a happy 2026 and a healthy new year.
Yes. Just to update everybody on the whole TAP grant, there's more to it that we've been attempting to work out. So as I discussed earlier, the town can't afford to put up the money. I asked the state to waive the regulations saying that we we need the money up front. We're going to get it back anyway if we're approved. There was no waiving it. There is an opportunity to subsidize the 20%, which will be required to cover. So, a last-ditch effort, I reached out to HHFT, to Fjord Trail, to see if they would be able to assist us. Thus far, the answer was not no. It was they need to explore more, and I understand that. They're really willing to work with us. They want to work with us. They want the residents and the tourists to have a safe access from the village of Cold Spring to Little Stony Point, which will get you to the breakneck trails. It will get you to the future Fjord Trail. So I really appreciate the cooperation that we've had with Peter Mullen and the board of the Fjord Trail. The whole level of cooperation is completely different than it's been in the past. And I give a lot of credit to Peter. I'm not criticizing any of the prior, but since Peter's come on, there has been a different approach from Fjord Trail, and it's certainly made myself more comfortable. I'm not going to speak for any of the other municipalities, but I know it seems to be common throughout. So we will be submitting, the TAP grant requires, there's two deadlines. One's January 15th, which is the pre-application, and then March 15th is the final application. So somewhere between January 15th and March 15th, we need to have the money secured or another route to finance this. The two sidewalks, as I mentioned earlier, one will be on the east side of 9D from the village border, going down the hill, connecting to the Washburn parking lot. If you're familiar with that, you can visualize it. We were there today with Ron Gaynor, who's assisting with some of the narrative. The other one is on the west side of Fair Street, on Mayor's Park. The village has completed their infrastructure improvement to the north end of Mayor's Park. This would continue a sidewalk on Fair to the gateway of Little Stony Point. So we are submitting, along with the village, it'll be a joint application for Fair Street because a small portion is in the village. The majority of it is going to be in the town, which is a county property, which we'll be receiving. The other one will be strictly the town of Philipstown applying. But we have full cooperation from the village, Mayor Foley, as well as Trustee Bazzi, who has done an incredible amount of work already to get the application together. I have asked the town comptroller, Kevin McKeon, to assist for the town of Philipstown. Tara is currently in tax season, so it would be beyond her ability to assist at this point. So we're all doing, Barbara Barossa from Putnam County, Joe Belushi from Putnam County, is working, he's the county engineer, is assisting with us. Ron Gaynor was out there today to assist with the narrative for the grant application. So we will be submitting on January 15th. I hope between January 15th and March 15th, we can get a commitment from Fjord for either one or both of the projects to assist us. There's a lot to figure out. There's a lot to work out for a private entity to be able to assist us with this. Whatever assistance we can get, I appreciate. At any point, if it doesn't work out, we will pull back the application because the town of Philipstown cannot afford it, at least in my eyes. And I've sat with the comptroller on a few different occasions to work it out. So we just can't afford it. We're still recovering from the expense of Garrison Landing. We're just getting our head above water, so I don't think we're in a position to do that. So again, there's the 20% match, 20% portion of the fund or the fee. There is opportunities through DOT to get that covered. So there is that possibility. So my hope would be it doesn't cost us any money to get the connection made. But we all have identified that there is a safety issue for people walking. And it's, since the breakneck station has been closed, people are coming to Cold Spring, getting off the train in Cold Spring and walking either Fair Street or 9D. So that's where we are with that. Anything from the board?
John.
Yes, sir.
If I may, I wanted to begin my term here with just a quick word of thanks.
Sure.
I want to thank the board members, past and present, excuse me, for your for inspiring me through your records of service to run, and now that I'm here in this seat, for welcoming me here. I want to congratulate Nat, my fellow new kid, and thank him for the time he's given me and the insights he's shared with me in our many conversations over the past few months. And I look forward to working with everybody starting tonight. I want to thank all the people of Philipstown, too, who have given me this opportunity to serve our community. I'll work hard for you, for us, I'll keep my mind open, especially to perspectives that don't immediately line up with my own. And I'll try to do what's best for the people who live in, work in, and visit Philipstown. So thanks to all the people here, and thanks to my family who have had to make adjustments to me being my new life as a meeting goer. Tonight, for example, while I'm here, my son is playing hockey at West Point, my daughter's at a play rehearsal at school, and my wife, after a full day at the bakery, is making it all possible. So thanks to them. So really, to start, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And a quick shift of gears, because while I have the floor, it seems important to at least acknowledge the recent shooting in Minneapolis where a federal agent shot and killed a young woman, a mother, Renee Good. It's not just a shocking violence that could occur here or in any of our neighboring communities that offends. It's also our government's attempts to spin what happened in its favor and to immediately vilify the deceased. Add that to the imperial saber rattling, the bellicose words and deeds flung at countries from South America to the Arctic Circle, and it can feel like we're living in a nightmare, only one from which Renee Good will not wake up. I don't know what to do about it exactly, other than to condemn it, to urge us to hold the powerful accountable, to renounce violence, and to see and honor the humanity in each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Ned.
John, I have one other thing.
Absolutely.
I'm just wanting to put everybody on notice that we do need to begin to talk about this thing that we've been talking about called a community preservation fund. And there's nothing, I mean, that's a process that we can get done. We can remind the public what that's all about. We can, but it does require a vote of the public, so it's going to require us over the course of the next 6 months to pay attention to the things that need to get done to get that done.
Absolutely, and I know there's a plan in place. We did approve them to go out and do the polling, so that will start soon.
I'm gonna do what I can to wrangle you all into
Sounds like a plan.
following that.
And you will
process
continue to
along.
press us on the comprehensive plan update committee as well.
Yeah, well, that and that conservation preservation fund, like the community conservation preservation plan,
Right.
was called for
In the-
by the comprehensive plan, so we're
Right.
just fulfilling our own mission statement.
Perfect. And that's one more box we can check.
Yep.
Perfect. All righty. Anything from the audience? Yes, Dinky.
Hi, I'm Constancia Dinky Romilly, and I want to wish everybody a very fruitful year. This is a extremely complicated and difficult time for our country. We are a little piece of that country, and I'm hoping that as we go forward, we will be able to acknowledge, as Council Member, too bad you're not a congressman, Council Member Roush has said, things are happening in other parts of the country. We need to acknowledge, and maybe we can figure out a way that we can make some official statement about this. I know a resolution has to be written and presented ahead of time, etc., but maybe that's something we can all think about. I won't be at the next meeting. It'll be my...
Well, you made a promise that you were going to come to
I know.
every single
I
meeting.
tried. I've tried. I have not made every single meeting, but I've made many.
Should we reschedule for you?
Yes.
We could.
It's going to be my 85th birthday, and I'm going to celebrate it in California with one of my sons who was born on the same day that I was born, and
We're gonna have a
so
cake here
we're
for
going
you.
to have a nice celebration. Yes. So, or I could come here instead, and we could all
could.
celebrate. You know, the way we did on the 1st with
Yeah.
the signing ins. Just a couple of small remarks. Since I live on a difficult part of the town, I again want to personally commend the Highway Department for the unbelievable job that they do. I mean, before we even have a chance to measure how much snow we have on our deck, they are out there cleaning the road. I know we're very lucky to be on a school bus route, so that helps, but it's astonishing how they do. I heard a mention of solar panels. I'm sure that you all have done this already, but we made a big mistake with our solar panels, not realizing about the Arctic vortex and the fact that we're now going to have the kind of winters that we had 15 years ago. We already had 2 significant snowfalls in December. Of course, our solar panels do nothing when they are covered with snow. And we failed to put a device under the panels, which exist, to melt the snow so that the solar panels can function. So hopefully when the town is putting in solar panels, they are dealing with that technology.
Yeah, I'll look into that. That's news to me. I have solar panels on my roof as well, but I don't have.
You must have you have a flatter roof on your house?
You what?
Do you have a flat roof? Because I know even at the rec center, those are designed to shed the snow. And
Well,
that's
whatever we have,
It's
it's not flat, but the snow stays on there. And my husband has bought a kind of a thing that's supposed to get it off, but I'm afraid he's not as old as I am, but he's old enough, and I do not want him falling down.
I'll
while
look
he's
into
trying
that. That's something I'm not aware about. I mean,
Okay,
but
well,
I'll-
that's what we
I
were told.
I remember I questioned when they went on the rec center because it was a flat roof and we were concerned about snow load. And the manufacturer at that point said the snow doesn't stick to them, they melt off. So there must be devices on that system
That's
that
great.
melts it off. So
That's great. Good
Well,
luck.
the solar panels on the rec center, they're tilted.
They're pitched.
They're not flat.
Right.
They are tilted. Every single one's on a tilt.
Right. So they
The
are shedding.
technology, I know nothing about. I'm just saying I know it
That's news to
improves
me.
as
We'll
the
look
years
into it.
go
Look
by.
into it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Dean. And have a happy birthday.
Yes.
Your birthday's on the 5th?
No, it's on the 9th, but I have to get to California.
My birthday's on the 8th.
Couple of days to get out there. You know, I was thinking about taking the train the last time.
Oh,
When the
that's cool.
Very nice.
air traffic controllers were shut down.
Not a good time to
It
fly.
costs $2,500 to go by train.
Oh, my goodness.
Even if you
And
have
how long does it
time.
take? And how long does
Wow.
it take?
3 days, but that's okay.
It's not bad.
You know, I'm old, I have time.
No, just curious about it.
All right.
For vacancies, we
Oh,
are,
Is there anything else from the audience?
oh, sorry.
No. Good? All right, thank you.
We're back up to 1 vacancy on the ZBA
Right. Oh, man, we were hit back 1,000 there for a
for a few months.
while. Okay, approval of vouchers, general.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? And I vote aye. Highway,
So moved.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Continental Village Park District,
So moved.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Continental Village Water District,
So moved.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you all.
Somebody second?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.